Namaste and welcome back to today's episode of Mahabharata Matters. In the previous episode, we saw that Yudhishthira had answered perfectly all the questions that the Yakṣa asked. The Yakṣa said Yudhishthira could now take a sip of water from the lake. Also, he said he would grant back the life of one of his brothers in return for all the questions he had answered. The Yakṣa said Yudhishthira could pick whomever he chose to come back alive. Without any hesitation, Yudhishthira asked for Nakula to be brought back to life. The Yakṣa was surprised. The Yakṣa questioned Yudhishthira. He said, I thought you would ask for either Bhima or Arjuna. Arjuna could have vanquished all your enemies. Bhima would have killed all the Kaurava brothers who had avenged you. But why did you choose Nakula? He asked. Yudhishthira answered. He said, I have two mothers, Kunti and Madri. Kunti's son, I am alive. I want one of my mother Madri's son to be alive as well. Hence, he had chosen Nakula to be brought to life, although he loved all his brothers equally. He said he would not want to compromise dharma for any throne in the world. The Yakṣa was immensely pleased with Yudhishthira's sense of dharma even in such a circumstance. He said he would grant back the life of all his brothers. They all instantly woke up as if from a deep slumber. Everybody was elated. They embraced each other and thanked the Yakṣa. Yudhishthira was thrilled. He knew this was no mere Yakṣa because he knew the nuances of dharma, and the questions he asked clearly said he was a very learned person. Yudhishthira prostrated to the Yakṣa and requested him to show him his true form. The Yakṣa was none other than his father, Yamaraja. Yamadharmaraja had come as a Yakṣa to test the sense of dharma that Yudhishthira had. After coming in his true form, Yama blessed his son Yudhishthira. He said he was very pleased with him, and he said that Yudhishthira had won over the kingdom of righteousness already. Getting his kingdom was only a matter of time now. Yama said whenever people speak of dharma, 4 names will be taken up. They were Nala, Rama's wife Sita, Krishna, and Yudhishthira himself. Such was the greatness of Yudhishthira's dharma. He also blessed that the 1 year of incognito would be successful and nobody would be able to recognize them in that year. They would come back victorious after that. Yama had given many boons to Yudhishthira now, but Yudhishthira was so happy to see his father, he wanted one more boon. He requested Yama to grant him victory over 6 enemies. 6 enemies? Who were Yudhishthira's 6 enemies now? He said, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsarya. He wanted to win over all these internal enemies. Who are these internal enemies? Kama, desire, Krodha, anger, Lobha, greed, Moha, delusion, Mada, arrogance, Matsarya, jealousy against other people. Yudhishthira wanted to win over all these things. Yama smiled. He said he could not give Yudhishthira what Yudhishthira already possessed. He said he had already won over this Ari Shad Varga. Ari means enemy, Shat is 6, Varga is a group. So he had already won over this group of 6 internal enemies, so Yama did not have to grant him this wish. He also said wherever Krishna is, he would be there too, because Krishna was always on the side of dharma. And wherever Krishna was, victory would be right there. So he blessed them and said they would be victorious and they would vanquish all their enemies very shortly. Yama disappeared from there after this conversation. The Pandavas started planning for their year of Ajnatavasa, year of incognito. With this, Vanaparva comes to an end. The next one, Virata Parva, begins afterwards. So, what are our takeaways from this story? Winning over internal enemies is much harder than winning over the external ones. The 6 enemies that Yudhishthira mentioned, Kama desire, Krodha anger, Lobha greed, Moha delusion, Mada arrogance, Matsarya jealousy over the other people. These tendencies of mind can creep up in all sizes, forms, and formats without even our awareness. Being mindful and alert at all times keeps them under check. With these thoughts, we come to the end of today's episode. Remember, in this series, we are discussing matters of Mahabharata because even today, Mahabharata matters. Hari Om!